this is new. This is real new. I just wanted to give you all a second to take in my background. It's nothing amazing, but I put some effort into that, okay? So today, we're gonna go over Haunted Hill Farms 2026 animatronics. Now, there's only, I believe, 8. I think there's 8 of them. I'll just get my first impressions out of the way. It's okay. It's nothing amazing. It's not my favorite. It's all right. But usually I do rankings for every lineup that I get to. But since there's not many animatronics with this, I'm just going to cover them from my least favorite to my favorite. We're just going to jump straight in. So the first one here we have, what's her name? I think it's Backbend Beatrix, something like that. So looking at her, she doesn't look visually, she doesn't look the worst. You'll notice a trend with their animatronics this year. So many of them have those red LED eyes. I don't know why. If you've been around here for a while, you'll know that I absolutely hate those light up eyes in animatronics. I hate them. I have almost never seen a good cause for those kind of eyes in an animatronic. I hate it. But the eyes aside, her animation, it's just the head doing a full 360. It's not good. It's not good. This animatronic is not good. Not a good animatronic. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't really like, and hot take. A lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I do not like Backbend Bonnie. I don't. I think she's way overrated. I don't like her. I'm not a fan. I think Broken Spine Girl did it best whenever she wasn't breaking. I'm not a fan. Next up here we have this tombstone. I don't know the names of many of these, and I don't care to figure it out because they're not on the website right now, so like I'm just looking on some random video just to see all of these. But the tombstone, I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's a cool looking tombstone. I don't mind how the tombstone itself looks. I think it's about time we see something with that stretching animation again, because I think it's been a while since we've actually seen something like that done. I mean, the last I can remember was Terror TV, and there were a lot of those. There were a lot of different versions of those. But this guy, I mean, he's fine. He's fine. I mean, there's not, you can't complain too much about something this simple until, the price comes out. If the price is way too much, then absolutely not. I wouldn't pay more than $80 for this guy. I wouldn't. He's all right. Next up we have the trash can bandit, raccoon, whatever it is. I think this is directly returning from Party City. I think this is exactly what Party City had a couple years back. And I'm putting it in this spot just because we have 2 other ones this year. 2 other different ones this year. I believe all 3 of them are different. I liked it when it first came out at Party City, but looking on it now, I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a really cool idea that should be done correctly, but my only issue with this is the trash can looks awful. Trash can looks awful. Now, if you really wanted to, I'm sure you could probably put this in your own trash can, but this trash can looks awful. It's just, jump scare's cool. I'm sure it's effective. I'm sure you could really scare some people with it, but trash can doesn't look good. And it is a returning animatronic, so again, not much I can say about it. Don't worry though, I'll be saying more about the upcoming props, but these lower ones, I don't know what to say about them. There's just not much to say. So next up, we have this lady. Now, a lot of people are going to kill me for putting her in this spot. I know a lot of people really like her. And I think she's cool. Before I say anything, I think she is cool. She's really cool. The face is really detailed. I really love the stitches. Are those stitches or is it just a wound? I don't know. I love the wound. Well, they're all over her face, but I love how they're like, coming out from her mouth. I love the face in general. I think the face looks really well done, and I mean, the clothing, it's nothing too elaborate. It's just a dress. I think they could have done a little more with the clothing, but it's a very unique animatronic. The only motion is the head turn and the mouth movement, which is fine, as long as it's not too expensive, it's fine. I think her audio's alright. It's just like, yes, this is a really cool animatronic. I really like it, but I'm trying to think of this in the perspective of, how am I going to use this? How am I going to incorporate this into my own haunt? And, my answer to that would be, I'm not. Like, there's just nowhere in my haunt where I would put her. It doesn't mean she's a bad animatronic. It's just like, I don't know what to do with her. And to be fair, I don't know what most people would do with her, other than just have her, or take the cop-out answer and throw her in a cemetery. She just wouldn't go well with many themes. So next up, we have that really tall woman. I was really struggling to figure out what to put in this place, because the top three, they're pretty close for me. But this really tall lady, I think she's cool. I think she's really cool. Again, you can't really use her in too many places other than, like a cemetery. But I think she would fit in much better than the other animatronic. That's why I'm putting her here. She only has 2 movements. She has a head up and down movement, and then the thing, whatever that is, that's poking out of her briefcase, just like the tombstone. I think it's cool. And one major thing I want to mention here is her audio. And this audio is very different. We haven't heard a voice like this in such a long time. Unique voices are really hard to come by nowadays, I feel, in animatronics, which is such a shame, because I love it. Many people might not think the voice fits. I think it's great. Again, not much I can say particularly about this one. It's very simple, very bland. The clothing, it's just one long white dress, which I guess actually fits this animatronic for what it's going for. I think it's really cool, though. I think the briefcase animation is really cool, especially since, she's talking about keeping something in her briefcase. I don't know. I don't remember her phrases too well, but I know she talks about it. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really unique. I think it's a really unique concept, and I think it's pretty well done. I think she could have benefited from maybe one more animation, but other than that, she's cool. So my number 2 animatronic on this list, again, pretty hard to decide, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the Sawing Clown, and that's for a few reasons. Now, before I complain about him, I'll compliment him. He's very unique. I feel like Haunted Hill Farms is doing good on the unique animatronics this year. For a lot of these animatronics, they're really going for something different, I feel, and it's working for the most part. I do like this guy. I do like him. Again, like the sawing animation, really unique. I think it's really cool. And the head falling animation, again, really unique. I do like the face, even though it's kind of bland. The clothing, I think, goes well with him. And the hair too, really unique. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I think a lot of people will love this guy, especially since he's sitting too. We don't see a lot of clowns that don't stand. And I guess now I'll get into the things I don't like about him. The eyes. Again, those eyes. And especially the way that they flash. Why? You didn't have to do that. Actually, I think most people would prefer you didn't do that. So I don't know why they did that. But, yeah, that I don't like. at all. But the second problem, and it's a problem with like most animatronics nowadays. He's sawing his head off. No blood. He's literally decapitating himself, and there's no blood. Why? Why? That in what world does that make sense? Now, I understand not putting blood on top of his clothing, because that might, that might mess with the jump scare, that might kind of spoil what he might do. But they didn't even put blood on the underside, like underneath of his clothing, when his head falls back. There's no blood there. They had plenty of room for it, but there's none. Actually, they bothered to put a little swirl there, but no blood, which also makes you think, oh, maybe this is not a real clown. Maybe he's like a toy or something, which, ruins it even more. It ruins the jump scare even more, in my opinion. Really cool guy. Could have done him better, though. Could have done him better. So, through process of elimination, you could probably figure out what my last pick is. And yeah, I'm not proud of it, but it's the ice cream cart clown. I mean, come on. Now, I will get this right out of the way. I do think he's better than Loz's clown. On Loz's, I do like the skeleton that's behind the clown cart, but then when the clown himself pops out, he looks really goofy. And yeah, he's a clown, but he looks just way too cartoony. This guy is a lot more menacing. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I love set piece props. I love them. I don't think we get enough of them. I think we need way more. And this dude, even if he didn't have a clown in him, I think just an ice cream cart prop would be really cool. That would go so well with so many people's displays. That's part of the reason why I love this thing so much. But I think the umbrella on there is really cool too. I think that's awesome. Again, like I said, the clown head, I think is awesome. I think it looks great. All around, he's a really cool guy. And this is probably the only animatronic I'm going to pick up from Haunted Hill this year. I really do want to grab him. I'm not 100% sure if I will, just because of everything else is coming out, but I love him. I do really like him. Now, let's get into my complaints. I will start off with the easiest thing to talk about, and then I'll really go off on this because I have some strong feelings. First off, the cart, I'm assuming the whole outside is a cloth material, so it's only a matter of time before that might shred if it's not too durable, and that would be a huge pain to deal with. Also, I'm not 100% sure if this is outdoor rated. If not, it should be, because this thing is big, and I think it would benefit from, being outside for the month of October. Now my main complaint, and I feel like this is not said enough, and I will say it so many more times across this channel. Jump scare animatronics. Why do they yap first and then jump scare? Why? I have such strong opinions about this. Why do they talk for a minute and then jump scare? What's the point? That ruins the jump scare on so many different levels. For one, you hear the prop talking. So even if before you weren't sure if it was going to do anything, now you are, because it's talking to you. So now you know that thing is about to do something. Number two, you've already walked past it. Especially in the case of this, if you hear the ice cream cart talking, for one, that's weird. And for two, if you don't hear it talking, you've just walked right past the ice cream cart, and the clown will pop out when you're already 50 feet away from the ice cream cart. What's the point? I'm gonna stop that tangent there because I could go on all day, but I don't want this video to drag on. Yeah, this is even though I complained about this thing the most, It is my favorite. It is really cool. I do really like it. As long as it's not too expensive, I would recommend getting him if you like clowns. I'm probably gonna pick him up. I hope to pick him up. But yeah, I mean that's all in all, I think the lineup is all right. I think it's okay. I think it has its ups, it has its downs. It's not my favorite lineup of the year. It doesn't have that many animatronics, so it can't be my favorite. But I think it's all right. I think it's worth looking at. I think it's worth looking into as long as the prices aren't outrageous. But yeah, that's about all I have today. See you in the next one.